wallpaper review for the theme Spelunking or cave diving, and we're gonna review them. First up is by CamDeathStalker. I really don't know what I would do to improve this one. I mean, there's definitely too many subjects in it. You have a character here, like a chest, and then you have all these guys over here, which I kind of like the idea of, but that's the top of the chest. I mean, it looks alright. It could use more in terms of lighting, probably. Like more atmospheric lighting. Right now, everything's kind of lit mostly the same. There's some shadows and stuff, which look good. But there could definitely be more dramatic lighting. Like, there's just torches everywhere, whereas you could have the subjects brighter, the subjects darker in it. However, the only thing I would really say is try to make there a main subject and try not to have more than one subject. You can have like a secondary, but these are kind of trying to be a primary, which is a stick to one subject. Like you could have this as a subject and the chest a secondary. I'm gonna see what happens if I just crop it like here. I forgot how to do this. Oh, actually we can just do it this way. Instead you could do something like this where it just has the main subject and not the extra. I mean, I kind of liked it, but to have them in the main foreground, or it doesn't make it less interesting, but it definitely, you know what you're supposed to focus on. It's an easier photo to look at and understand it. I might try doing a little bit of color grading and stuff, maybe make it stand a little bit better, but that's probably about it. So I'm gonna blur it and then we'll darken it a little bit. It's not really what I want to do. I want to do normal. So what I want to do is turn it to contrast. So that's kind of cool. We had just a hint of color. I think just about 8%. Can add a little bit of that, and then this one. Oh, that was the problem. There, so that's kind of the changes I made. Kind of just brought up the contrast of it, made that light feel brighter. So hey, you can let me know whether I improved it or made it worse. Actually, this would not be the original. Let me. There we go. These are the changes I made. And just crapped out. I just cropped out the other guys here to make it have more of a focus, one main character, the secondary, and yeah, that's what I would have did. But you can let me know whether I improved it or made it worse. Alright, let's check out the next submission. Here we have one by ArcherLegacy. This one's got all sorts of colors happening, quite cool. Now let me examine it and see what I would do to improve it. Alrighty. Right off the bat, the composition is a little bit, I don't know how I would improve it, but the composition needs work. Also the colors, like there's really strong purple up here for no reason. Well, not for no reason, it's because of this, but then there's not purple down here, like it's not consistent. So I'm not sure if how well I'll be able to fix this one, but you know, we can give it a shot. Alright, first what we're going to do is remove some of this weird purple stuff, if I can. Forgot to make that addition. Alright, and if we just go into turn down the saturation. Oh, but that really breaks that one, so I'll put some overlap on there. Boo. That definitely improves it, we'll go with that. Then there's still some purple, but that already looks better in my opinion. However, I would also probably steer some of that purple into more cyan-y, just to match with the orange. It always looks better. So I'm going to go back into here and see if I can make that a little more cyan-y. So that would be cyan. So I think what I have to do here is go copy it, and I'll try this. Oopsies. And probably the blue will tilt a little bit into cyan. I don't know why that stuff over there didn't change. Kind of thought it would. Maybe we need some red. Okay, yeah, that does change. Video photos there. We'll keep that in mind, and I might come back to that. Right now, let's just try color balance. Nope. Actually, yes, that is what I want. On the highlights, I want more cyan. Less magenta. The midtones, I want more cyan. More blue. There we go. That's a little bit more what I was looking for. And then the shadows. There we go. That's better. And now we just have to fade between the two, kind of. So if we create a layer mask by going, let's put something probably like that. Alright, we'll add a layer mask. Full transparency. Better. I put that the wrong way again. Add layer mask. Full transparency. No, not that. There we go. It's a little strong, but I'm sure we can find a mode here that looks good. Oh, that one just kind of looks good for no reason. Yo. Mostly because it just brightens it up, but that's almost what it needs. Alright, well, let's keep going here. That one's okay. Yeah, it doesn't really help. I think I really want lighten only. Yeah, but I don't want lighten only. Let's go back to overlay. But I want to screen is what I want. Alright, and then this one, I'm going to duplicate that. See what I wanted was contrast. Put some hard contrast on there, and then we want to copy that. No. Add layer mask. There we go. Why is there transparency on the layer mask? Well, that's odd. Anyway. Curves. Be the other way. Hey, hello. Excuse me. No. Be the other way around. There we go. There we go. That's what I was needing. Just more contrast fixes everything, honestly. Honestly. But we only want to lighten only. We don't want to darken. I see that's an improvement. Let me just commit the changes here. Merge down, merge down. We don't need that. I didn't do too much on that one, but here's what I have, and here's the original, and here's what I did. Really, I just increased the contrast and removed some purple stuff. Composition still needs work, but I'm not sure how I'd fix that here. Still, let me know if I made it worse or better. Alrighty. Here we have one by Sashio? Sashio? I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm sorry. This one I think was like a low res, so when I imported in here it kind of pixelated it, but we'll work with it. Anyway, this one, it's a little bare bones, I think would be the biggest thing. I do like the water drips though. That's a nice touch. And the face rig is kind of cool. But there's not much in terms of depth to it. There's just a flat background pretty much of just a cave wall, and then just the character and no foreground. So there's not too much to look at really, but we can improve what is here. So I would say add more depth to the image would really help the most in this situation, because otherwise it looks pretty good in terms of having the character in the middle. That looks okay. And it's not cutting much of anything off other than maybe the legs, but it looks alright. The second thing is, I know Mine-imator doesn't really support this, but reflections on the water would help. I'm sure there's some way to do it, but by default Mine-imator doesn't support it. And the other thing is the shadows are cast a little funny. Like the torch is casting a his shadow on his arm down here, but really at this close contact with the wall, there would be enough light reflecting off the wall and onto the water. You wouldn't see that much of a shadow, I don't think. Although maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you would see more of a shadow. I don't know, I think that shadow just looks strange. But another limitation of Mine-imator. Yeah, I don't think there's too much to do with this one. I'm gonna try improving like the colors and maybe adding lighting to the water, but we'll see what happens here. I kind of like it darker almost. I think it just needs a little bit more light there. Something like that could work. Darken the water a little bit. I feel like I made it too dark, but yeah, it needed to be darkened. We also need a vignette. Something probably a bit like that. That should work. Add layer mask, anchor it. Colors, exposure, just turn that down. Yeah, sure. Gotta turn that the other way around though. Why is that so harsh over there? What happened? Don't know why that's a thing. Oops. Still feel like it's got a much harsher edge over there, but that could just be anyway. That's kind of cool, but not what I was looking for. Actually, I think I just went normal. Just put a little bit on there. Alright. Done. So that's the original. Yeah, I'm not really happy with this one. Let's try adjusting the colors again. Let's up the exposure. Alright, so we need some water reflection, just a problem. Alright, so if we would just crank that all the way up. Oh, that's beautiful. So if we edit this as low as, come on, stop being dumb. Gets rid of that top edge there, and then if we... Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not happy with this one. I don't think I made it much better. Regardless, I'm gonna leave it as what it is. And we'll blend just a hint of it in. I think like 50% of what I did makes it better. Alright, so here's how it started, and here's what I changed it into. Not much of a difference. Yeah, actually, problem is I made the water too dark. Actually, here's what it needs. A layer mask, okay. Alright, there's an invert button, that's handy. Okay, so we can merge that one down. And now when we do like 75% looks pretty good. Alright, here's how it started, and here's what I ended with. It's not perfect. And I never did get to adding highlights in the water, but basically all I do is add more contrast, pretty much. But you let me know if I improved it or made it worse. Next up we have one by Kryon. This one's quite nice looking. I'm a fan of it. It's made in Blender because of this highlight right there. Otherwise, I could have believed it was made in Mine-imator, I feel like. I mean, and the Steve looks very blendery. I'm sure somebody can make this in Mine-imator. The water is the biggest thing. Honestly, this one looks great. It's just the water. It's way too blue. Much too blue. In fact, I'm going to try just removing the blue from this one. And I'm going to see what it does here. Put a little overlap on there. Alright. We'll desaturate it a little bit. And make it, Can't tell if I want it lighter. I think what I want to do then is add some highlights. So we'll keep it like, I mean, that already looks 10 times better. Copy the water over, and we will, why is it red? What did I do? What is the difference between this? Okay, so that's dark. So I would want the very top. Here's what I want. Alright, and then we want to do lighten only. How do I, why didn't that do what I wanted to do? Whoa. I don't know how to make this do what I wanted it to do. This should give me two different values, and it clearly does not. Well, I guess we'll try it this way. Well, it's the opposite of what I wanted to do. Well, I can't do what I wanted to do, but simply desaturating the water makes it look way better. I would like highlights on the water, but I can't figure out how to do it. Yeah, that's about all I'm going to do on that one. Alrighty. Here we have one by Mason T. This one's got lots of bloom and lens flares and all sorts of stuffs. I don't think there's much I can do with this one. The only thing is there's not really anything that's in focus. It's like kind of cool looking, but I feel like there should at least be something in focus, and there's not really, other than like this floor, because it's kind of blurry. The character is a little blurry because of the bloom and everything. I'm curious what would happen if you would make the character a little darker, but it would kind of ruin your lens stir and everything you have going on. But I'll try and see what happens. Darken him up a little bit. Oopsies. I'd say that brings a little bit more contrast. Looks good. And maybe he could use some like fake rim lighting. Why did that? Oh, looks like that's why I did it. I see. We're actually gonna move that down. Alright, here's the before and here's the after. All I did was darken the character and add a little bit of rim lighting. Probably should have harshened the shadows behind it, but yeah. Wasn't too much to do on this one. Looked pretty good from the start. Alright, last up we have one by Boom Knights. This one, it's something. I don't remember the squid looking like this on Chrome. It looks like it lost some color. Hang on, let me look at that original. Nah, okay, it looked like this. So this one already has the contrast that mine normally do. However, again, this is a situation of there's two characters for no reason. Instead, there should be the character and the secondary, which is this giant light source of lava. So I feel like this is another one where we can just go ahead and crop it, and it will improve the image. I do like the cyan there, but yeah. In fact, I think I want to yoink some of the cyan, but just keep it out of frame. We don't want to cut his foot off. And then it looks weird. I'd like to get him on the thirds, though. I might just have to cut his feet off. This looks okay, I think. I'm curious as to what happens if I just turn Steve here into a silhouette instead. I quite like that, actually. So we're gonna go ahead and make a layer mask for opacity. So I should have did that now that I think about it, but I didn't. Alright. Oh yeah. Let's unblur that. Alright, here's what I did for this one. It's a bit of something. I can't again say that it's necessarily better, but it's some. I definitely think the crop is better. Smaller, but I blurred the background. I don't know if I necessarily like, but because the main subject was blurred, I thought it was fitting, and then I darkened the character and gave him some fiery looking rim lights. Makes it look more intense. I don't know. I missed removing the squid, but there wasn't really a way to bring him in there. Unless it was on the left side of it, but I feel like this works better. So that's all of them. I've thought about bringing back winners to the competition, just picking my favorite and I don't know, not much happens. Maybe they get the winner's theme. So I think I'll bring that back. So going through them, personally, I would have said Cryon's was my favorite. It looked the best. Yeah, the Cryon, yeah, was my favorite. Like, other than the blue water, I like just removing, well, I also really like Boom Knights. That stuff. Yeah, I think Cryon's is my favorite. This one does look cool, but I just like lots of contrast. But this one looks better overall. Just very blue water for no reason. So, I think what I'll do for winners is you'll probably get the winners roll back in Discord again. And then what we'll do is you can suggest or you can pick a theme again, but this time instead of it being the theme, it'll be one of the 4 themes that everybody can choose from. So you'll have an option to put yours in there for sure. Like you'll get it to be in there by winning. So that's, yeah, I think that's fair. And then I'll pick the other 3 and then we can go from there. So thanks everyone for participating. If you want to participate in the next one, you can go join the Discord. That's down in the description. And yeah, okay.